everyone. In this video I'm going to be turning some clip corners for this mahogany door. So I have the door glued up, got the panels, clip corner panels. So the molding that I have to make is too small of a radius for any machine that we have. We do have a arch molder here, but the smallest radius we can do is 12 inches on it. And that also causes a problem because, let me show you on the molding here, because wherever you have something coming up straight, it heals it. So when it turns a corner, it would be cutting into this round part right here. And we would lose part of this on the side here just because of the radius of the head that we have to put the knife in. Now let me show you the knife. Here's the molding knife that we cut. We cut all of our own moldings here. So I've already ran the straights through the molder. And here they are here. So you can see this is what the molding looks like coming out of the molder. So I've cut the straights. So now I'm going to do the clip corners. So the first thing that I have to do is I have to get the pieces the right size. So what I do is I take a quarter piece, get the right angle on there, 90-degree angle, and then I made a little template of the size of the molding, the width of the molding, and then I just take it, run it. I'll show you here. Take this template, screw the piece to it, and then I run it on a router table here and flush cut it to the template. Okay? And I take that off, and what I'll do is I'll take it, and this is the piece that I put on the lathe here. So I have the quarters drawn out. That was just for first reference, and then this is of course where my chuck fits in here. So basically this is like a huge face plate, and I've marked where the screws can come through, where it won't hit on the molding. So next thing I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and screw I have 4 quarters ready to go right here, and I'll screw those onto the face plate. And then I'll show you how I turn the moldings here in a minute. So here I have the quadrant screwed on here, and what I have is a homemade cutter holder made out of plywood. I have the steel sandwich between 2 pieces of plywood, and this I can't use it like a regular knife you would. It would like kick the rear end back. It would be grabbing too much. In other words, just like if you have a piece of carbide, square carbide, and you stick it in straight in, even if it's like a half an inch, it's going to want to grab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it more like a negative rake scraper. Not really so much scraping. I'm going to hold the angle up, and we found that this works. It does sometimes burn a little bit. You just have to watch the angle that you keep cutting with. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark the outside of the piece with the size that I want to finish it. And this is just for rough cutting. I'm going to rough cut the majority of the wood out first, and then that way I'm not having to cut it all the way down with a knife. So I'll mark the outside, and then I'm going to mark the inside too. The inside's like a half an inch on this piece of molding, so I'll just mark them and turn the lathe on, of course, and bring the circle around. All right, so I'm just going to set up the tool rest so that it's in the right position for the knife. Marking the inside now. Like I said, I'm just going to rough cut. On the right side, I'm going to be taking out a half an inch wide um, roughage, let's say. And then on the other side, it's going to be about 3/16 to quarter of an inch because that's how big the bead is with the little inlet, little groove in it next to it. So here I'm marking half an inch so that I'll know where to stop so I don't get too deep because the molding does dive down real fast right there. And if I were to go over too far, then I would be cutting into part of the molding, and I don't want to do that. This is a stained grade mahogany door. I want to make sure that I don't have any mess ups. I mean, I can make more pieces, but time is money, and I don't like remaking stuff too much, so try to do it right the first time. Yeah, I'm just using ball gouge. I'm gonna bring down the piece pretty close, and then I believe I grab my square carbide and finish it off because the outside's easier to do with a square carbide. This here, I'm just gonna clean it up, get it to the right size, do the outside, then I'll be able to do the cutting of the profile. I do use my ball gouge a little bit to kind of roughen down the curve that goes down into the bead. And again, this just is to help expedite the cutting of it with the knife. Okay, so I move the camera around so you can get a better look at the way the knife works. So I'm holding the knife up probably about a 30 degree. So like I said, it kind of works like a negative rake, but not really because it doesn't have an angle on the bottom. It's straight, but it's better than just sticking it in straight because if you do that, then it doesn't cut. And where the little grooves are, where the bead, and there's another one where the flat is over on the side, it'll just burn that. You got to cut a little bit. But like I said, if you had the knife turned around the other way, where you had the flat up, and it was cutting like a knife would in the molder, It would be grabbing so bad I wouldn't be able to hold on to. You'd have to have, you know, really long leverage to keep it from digging in. And I don't even know if my lathe could handle that much. It might just come to a complete stop. But we got a little burnage here. This is the last set, so the knife is getting a little dull. But we'll touch it up again. We have a knife grinding machine, and we have a CNC controlled template maker. So we take the profiles that the architect or the contractor gives us, and or an existing when we have to match something, and we put it on AutoCAD, and then we cut a little plastic template out, and then we have a machine that somebody has to operate it, but it grinds the profile on the knives. Here I'm just gonna kind of shear scrape, and I have a point tool here where I can get in there and kind of clean up the burnage, let's say, where it scorched it a little bit, and do some shear scraping with a gouge here. Just do that just to help save time sanding, because none of us like to sand, and just makes it easier. Trying to sand burn off is takes some time. So here's what it looked like coming off the lathe, and I'll take unscrew these pieces off of here, get them on the door, and then I'll show you what the door. So here we have the applied molding with the clip corners, and it's all sanded up, ready to go. Just got to do the other side now. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you the next time.